If you haven't tried the caramel brulee, you really should. This is magically delicious. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 lessons that I've learned in 2024 in this recap. Now, to give you some context, this channel, everything you see on it, all the money I'm spending, everything is 100% self-funded by me, meaning that I have a few different ways that we're going to talk about how I go about getting my tech. But first, I want to give you a little bit of context, a little bit of backstory so you can sort of all make more sense to you. All right. So if you look right here, you can see that I have 700 subscribers, 84 videos. I started this channel about a year and a half ago in June. It was either June or July. Now, here's what I want you to understand about this. When I started this channel off the back of, at the time I had two jobs. I had, the job that takes care of the family, and I had the job that funds wacky, crazy business ideas. This channel happened to be one of those wacky, crazy ideas. Now, I think that because I am working two jobs, and if you want to be completely technical, technically I'm working three jobs. I got my main job, I have one part-time job that I use to fund this business. Then I picked up another part-time job to offset funding this business because tech is insanely expensive and it's kind of hard. Now, you can put it on credit cards, and I was doing that at first, but I quickly realized that at the rate I'm going with how quickly I was putting stuff on credit cards and how long it was taking to pay it off, I could really put myself in a jam, and I didn't want to be in a jam. So ultimately, I started looking around at some things and I learned about Afterpay. Now, the reason why I liked Afterpay was because you're basically taking the capital you already have and you're able to hold on to it. So, a real quick example, and this is actually a rule I set for myself. If I want something, let's say $1,000, I know that $1,000 is going to cost me $250 down. For over the next, 2 months, I have to pay 250 every 2 weeks. So I know I can spend $1,000. But the catch to it is I have to have $1,000 in my business account to be able to pay for that thing outright if I want to be able to do it on Afterpay. That way, it makes me feel like I'm not, I'm not making big cash purchases and losing a ton of money at once. So that's how I've been purchasing all this stuff that you see for, I want to say realistically, the last 7 months, 7 or 8 months, when I looked at my finances and realized the credit cards was getting out of control. I switched over to that model because one, that checks me, because it's easy to look at your finances and be able to say, "Oh, I can add another $30, or I can add another 40, or what is an extra $50 or $100 in the grand scheme of things." So for me, I had to take a step back from that and I had to make the pain a little bit more clearer. With Afterpay, if you go spend $2,000 on Afterpay, then you on the hook for $500 for the next, 2 weeks, for the next 2 months, every 2 weeks for the next 2 months. Now, because I do it like that, I like it because it allows me to keep my debt down. It allows me to pay down the credit cards that I've already ran through the roof. And it allows me to, get some structure over my finances. And that's what you have to understand about this. This Will Talk Tech is 100% self-funded by me. From me going out finding a person to make these shirts so I can have them on in the videos or walk around with them on outside, to everything else. It's 100% self-funded by me. I don't get any money from anybody. Ain't nobody, you know, giving me money for it. So it's just me, my, work I put in with my jobs, and me leveraging Afterpay and Affirm, because I do use Affirm too. So that's how I'm funding it. Just in case you was curious to know how I fund this channel, with me being a small YouTuber, that's how I'm doing it. Because I'm doing it like that, it is very, very, very hard for me to keep up with content, which we'll talk more about on how I see that going in the future. So now I want to share with you what I've learned, the 10 things I've learned, starting at number one. This one is actually a big one for me. It's actually tied with number 10. But this is, people want solutions and not just tech. This is something I just recently found out when I created the Creative Console when I went out and picked up the Creative Combo MX Creative Console, and then I doubled back and did that big review of all the different items or all the different solutions out there, at least with that I owned. What that taught me was people don't just want you to create a review, unboxing or a review or something like that. They actually want you to get into that specific item and play with it and show them how to use it and how you're using it. And for me personally, this is freaking awesome because I don't, all these, I have a ton of products that I either opened up or I did an unboxing on, but I never released it because I didn't like the fact that I felt like all I was doing was an unboxing. I felt like it wasn't bringing any new value to the table. Sure, there's plenty of people out there doing it, but I wanted to be able to put my own little spin on it. And because I couldn't do that, I found myself just not releasing it, purchasing a product and not releasing it, which obviously isn't good at all. But going into 2025, I definitely want to be able to share more of how I'm using that product, which honestly for me this is a big deal because that makes the unboxing process much funner to me. Because yeah, I'm unboxing, but now I get to show you how I'm gonna play with it and use it. You get like I feel like when you're doing these unboxings or you're doing these reviews of products and things like that, especially when it comes to like people spending their hard-earned money. I feel like me being able to show my level of enjoyment for the product or my level of dislike for the product, I feel like those are the type of things you can't fake. And I feel like that's what's gonna, open up the gateway for me to be able to do a lot more content at a faster rate because honestly I'm my editor. It gets boring editing videos, especially when that's not what I want to do full time. So that's the very first thing that I've realized. People want more than just a tech unboxing. They want hands on with that product, and that I'm excited to start doing. I think that another big lesson I've learned in 2024 was that when you go to like YouTube and you look at these big channels and you see only a percentage of their audience engaging with them, at the time I didn't get it, but now I get it. Basically, what we're doing is we're building up these subtopics, which we'll talk more about this in number 10. But we're building up these subtopics where we're creating content around a specific topic, and you might have 1,000 people, and only 500 of them is interested in that specific topic. And what I've realized is I have two audiences on We'll Talk Tech as it stands right now. I have my tech audience who, you know, they hear because they enjoy seeing the unboxings, they enjoy seeing me talk about new tech and things like that. And then I have my other audience who's here because of, the shortcut tutorials. And what I realized is my shortcut audience and my tech audience is way different. And up until now, I've prided myself on not asking people to subscribe because maybe delusion, but I felt like if the content is valuable enough, you'll naturally want to subscribe without me asking you to subscribe. And I felt like that's building a better audience. And for the shortcut audience, that works great because my subscriber rate was tracking great. Meaning, if I was at 70,000 views, then I was already at probably, when I was at 60,000 views, I was already at almost, 700 subscribers. Now, with me switching over to doing more unboxings and things like that, what I'm realizing is this audience, this tech audience, don't really subscribe. So because they don't really subscribe, you get the views, you get my watch time is going through the roof right now, but they don't subscribe. So for me to get to the goal of my 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours is going to take a little bit more work. I'm not sure if I want to start asking people to subscribe or not. I haven't crossed that bridge yet, but I have realized that you have to be careful because when you're talking about different topics, you're bringing on new audiences into your existing audience, and they might not interact the same way. So my shortcut audience is freaking awesome. My tech audience is freaking awesome too because they're blowing up my watch time hours. So they both audiences do something that I need them to do. One audience subscribe, one audience sit there and watch the full videos. I want those are two very, very important metrics that I need. But the question that I have to figure out going into 2025 is, do I want to start asking people to subscribe, or do I want to continue to leave it like it is now? Because if you notice right now on this channel, I haven't like been in a rush to sell anything. Like obviously I'm an affiliate marketer for the products that I review and things like that, but I'm not rushing to make money. I'm really in that space where the bills are okay, the family is okay, everything is okay. So I'm able to play around a little bit with the channel on the make money side. Now, it should be said that I consider myself to be a marketer first. So I do have other avenues, other things online that I do that's 100% about, me getting to the sale immediately. But with We'll Talk Tech, this is more so my fun project. I mean, I don't think it's gonna grow as big as MKHBHD or however you say his name is or anything like that. But I do think this could be something in its own right that is different from everything else out there. And that's what I've been looking for and trying to figure out how to go about doing that. So I'm not sure that I want to start asking people to subscribe yet. Now, for number three, this is a big one because like, you hear me say it all the time if you've watched any other videos. I have a lot of products that I purchased and I have not released yet because I haven't had the time to edit them. And by the time I release them, I lost the traction or momentum that I would have naturally gotten just by releasing them when I released them. Like when I look at text, like a tech channel like this one, and I look at the people who are creating content at a ferocious rate and always they view count is always high. Basically, all it is trend jacking or trend hacking, whatever you want to call it. In the marketing space, we call it trend jacking, meaning you're riding the wave the momentum that someone else created, and because you're riding it, you're gonna automatically get views and things like that. And that's what tech unboxings do. That's what any tech YouTuber. That's what they all do. Problem is, I'm not able to do it because I'm purchasing the products, but I don't have enough time to edit because again, I'm working my full-time job which pays for, the family and everything else. Then I have my second part-time job because I went crazy with credit cards and got myself an in over my head. So I went out and grabbed another part-time job to knock down the debt faster. Then on top of that, I'm doing this YouTube channel, and then I also do my where I'm building out funnels and doing that's more so on the affiliate marketing side where it's like true hardcore affiliate marketing. So that while that doesn't have anything to do with over here, it is still something that I do. Like I'm still building out funnels. I'm still, creating, content of how I'm doing X, Y, and Z, letting people look over my shoulder as I do it, and then they're purchasing whatever they purchase on the back end. So I do have all of that stuff going. So this right here, We'll Talk Tech, this is like my baby, but unfortunately, I can't give all my attention to my baby because obviously I got to eat and everything else. So, with that being said, in 2025, to get around this issue with not being able to put out content as fast as I want, is I'm going to actually be looking for an editor. Now, the problem with me looking for an editor is it directly cuts into my budget for buying new tech. Like, I have no illusions about that. But if I can find an editor because if you look at my videos, like they're nothing magical. They're bare bone basics. Like I literally just started learning S-Log 3 now because I got tired of my picture quality not being what I felt it should be for the amount of money that I'm spending on these cameras. So I literally just got into that. So I'm not looking for the best video editor around. I'm just looking for a solid video editor where my image quality don't degrade, but it goes up. That's it. So I'm definitely gonna be having my eye out on that in 2025, and I'm gonna see if you all catch it that I didn't edit that video, and hopefully the person I get is affordable and they can grow with me as the channel grow. But that's definitely something I want to look into because I need help with editing the videos, creating the content. I love this. I would sit down and do this all day if I could, but it's the editing part that I need help with. All right, so as I alluded to earlier in this video, and I, like I said, I got in over my head in credit cards, and I discovered that Afterpay, Affirm, or the many other services out there like Klarna, any of those services out there are better than credit cards because here's what happened with credit cards. I could only tell you what happened to me. Credit cards give a false illusion of you got this. At least that's how it happened for me. I was purchasing everything on credit cards when the channel first started. Right now, the channel is about a year and a half old. The first, I want to say 6 or 7 months, I was purchasing everything on a credit card. And it was like, I can go out and I can buy the ZV-1 Mark II for, let's say, $600-700. I think all out, that was like a $1,300 purchase. I think I bought that last year at the beginning of the year. It's like around $1,300 with all accessories. Well, I swipe a credit card for it, or I think I swiped a credit card. I'm not for sure, but let's just use it as an example. I swiped the credit card for 1,300, and then now my new monthly bill is maybe $50 a month. Okay, now I go out and I get the M4 iPad, and that's like 2,500. Okay, now you just pay an additional $80 a month. So with that being said, with those two examples, now that's not what happened, but just as an example, with doing it like that, what I realized is you you get in over your head because you quickly realize that these are bills that's coming every 30 days and you only have so much money coming in. And once you reach the amount of money you got coming in, like you're basically chewing away at your cash flow doing that. And what I realized was that was making me feel like I had more money than I actually had. And if I would have stayed on that trajectory, I would have put myself in some really, really financial struggle. Now, don't get me wrong. I did a number on myself, but thank God I looked up and slowed down when I did my quarterly review of my finances and things like that. So upon doing the quarterly review, I realized that me putting everything on credit cards wasn't working because what I told myself I was gonna do, okay, you're gonna do a split payment and pay it off. That wasn't happening because now that's just another little tiny bill that they take that money out and I don't even notice it. Like it was like that for me. So as a result, it was like, okay, if I'm not gonna use credit cards, what can I do? Shortly after that, I learned about Afterpay and things like that. And the reason why I like Afterpay, as I hinted at earlier in the video, with Afterpay, if I got $1,000 in my account, in my business account, I can spend $1,000. Now I know that I can pay off that Afterpay whenever I want, but more importantly, I know in 2 months that purchase will be paid off, and I don't have to give up all my cash in that specific instance. I really like that. I like it that it's dollar for dollar. Although I've heard some people say, "Cat, Afterpay isn't dollar for dollar," but in my experience, unless they're doing some type of voodoo, I don't think I've ever been charged more than what was asked. You even get the little emails that say, "Hey, your last payment is adjusted to for this because they didn't take this," or whatever the case may be. So for me personally, that's what I prefer to do. Afterpay. This one right here was a hard lesson for me to learn. Number 5, which is content matters. Your content output matters. If you look at when I first started this channel and I was putting everything on the credit card and I was just running, like putting videos out like every 3 days on this channel, this channel was growing fast to the point where I was like, wow, this is crazy. And when I slowed down on that content output, my channel growth slowed down. Now, anybody listening to me will be like, duh, that makes sense. But for whatever reason, I did not directly correlate my content output and my channel growth affecting one another. Call me slow, but I just did not see it. I don't know if it's because I've had many other YouTube channels before this one and that wasn't the case. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I did not realize it. So now I understand that if I want to hit 1,000 subscribers next year in 2025, then I have to get my content output back up. The problem is I don't know how I'm gonna do that. That's the reason why I want the video editor. But I do know somehow, somewhere, I have to figure out how to get my content output back up on this channel because it's slowing down my growth. Now, in relation to number 5, what I've also realized is that old adage where they say people fall to the level of their systems or however it go. I'm living proof that's true because my content output for the channel in the beginning was awesome. But the moment I deviated from the content pipeline, everything fell apart. So in 2025, like, today is December 6th, a day after Christmas. Happy holidays, if that's your thing. I did not, and I mean, I did not, like, everything was different, which we're going to talk about this in one of the other numbers, so I'm not going to go too deep here. But just understand that having a content system, like I created something called the content pipeline, and it's not anything online, it's just my thing that I created for me. But me having my content pipeline and understanding what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, and being flexible and not rigid with moving things around works wonders. When I was doing it, I'm telling you, I was putting out content like a beast. The moment I stopped using the content pipeline because I started getting pulled in this job, that job, this job, that job. Plus, as a director of operations, it's like sometimes you just got emergencies and sometimes you just got fires that you have to put out. So that video that you were supposed to do today, you can't get it done. Then when you look up, it's a week later, you got this new piece of tech out, and now you trying to hurry up and catch up so you can put that piece of tech out. So you purchase that tech because you need to put a video out on it because it directly correlates to something that you're doing. And before you know it, you in over your head with all these new tech products and you're not really doing no output. It's almost as if you're burning money in a sense. Because at the level when it's time for you to put it out, the momentum of that product being new has faded, and now you're just riding the normal wave of that product of once it then calmed down. Case in point, my iPad M4. There's no reason why I should have had an iPad M4 for the last 3 months or whatever it's been, and you don't know about it. That video should have been up on the channel, but I get pulled in other directions. Like right now, I'm doing a recap of 2024 instead of editing that video. I got a video where I purchased where I did an unboxing for everything I purchased on Good Friday, or I'm sorry, Black Friday. And I couldn't put it out yet. It still hasn't been edited. That's going to come out in 2025, right after I release what's in my tech bag. I'm going to actually go back and drop that video. Hopefully, I'm hoping they play good together. I'm hoping that what's in my tech bag actually fuel that video, but we'll see. I'm shooting straws right now. I'm figuring it out as I go. But I'm going to be firm, and I do mean firm because I'm a very structured individual by nature. So me being structured isn't something that's hard for me to do. It comes to me naturally. In fact, it allows me to kind of coast on autopilot until I don't need to. So I want to have that same level of structure moving forward with the channel and with the content process. Now, number 7, I'm not gonna lie to you. This one is hard for everybody, and I don't feel like I'm the only one, but good enough has to be good enough. And if you look back at some of, not this channel, but if you look back at like my marketing channels, I always told myself good enough is good enough. And I've put out some really, really bad videos. Talking about one of the ears, one side of the ear is not working, and I didn't catch it. And people saying, "Hey, can you fix the audio?" and all kind of crazy stuff. But for whatever reason, with Will Talk Tech, not granted, this is the first channel I've ever had that I can genuinely say I genuinely love this channel and love what I do. With my marketing channels, I think that for me, while technically I don't have to do my marketing channels, like if somebody tell me I can do them tomorrow, I'll be like, okay, I'm cool with that. Because there are other avenues that I could take. As long as I'm able to play in the marketing space, then I don't care about doing the YouTube videos or anything like that. But if you try to take Will Talk Tech from me, that you in for a fight because I genuinely love this. And I don't know if I love it because there are no expectations. I'm just doing it because I enjoy it, or if it's because I get to play with tech all day, and I love tech. Like I don't know, but at the end of the day, good enough has to be good enough moving forward, even with Will Talk Tech. I can't overthink things. I my problem is I watch too many other tech channels and I look at all the B-roll. It's like they got B-roll, 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 B-roll. And then I'd be like, I'm just a talking head video. Why would somebody listen to me over watching that? And before you know it, I'm trying to emulate what they're doing. So this year, I think I'm just gonna run my race. Like once I get to the level where I can do B-roll over me talking and stuff like that, then I'm gonna do that. But I have to learn to play. Well, I should say I've realized I need to play at the level I'm at and not try to play at the level of somebody who has a whole team behind them. That by far is one of my biggest takeaways. And I can't even say I just learned that because I discovered it so long ago. It's just I guess I forgot, but yeah, moving forward, good enough is good enough. Now, this is another big one. Number 8 is something that I've been telling myself I'm going to do over and over again, and honestly, I just don't do it. And that is getting out of this office. Like, I'm at my home office. I got the microphone. I got the top down camera. I control the lights. Everything up in here screams comfortability. I want to start going out in public and doing more unboxing type stuff. Like maybe I unbox it in the office, and then after I unbox it in the office, I create the rest of the video outside with me moving around to add some scene changery and things like that. Because that type of stuff doesn't require me to be really good at editing or video editing or anything like that. That's just a matter of me understanding, hey, I got to create a little shot list. Okay, I'm gonna do the unboxing here. I'm gonna record this part right here. I'm gonna record that part right there, and I'm just chopping up those scenes and where I want to record them. That's something I can do, and it doesn't require a lot. So while I won't be doing B-roll, I feel like that's something that's more realistic that I can do, and yeah, that's what you're gonna see. Now, number 9, honestly, number 9 and number 10 was at a tie. But I put this at number 9 because it is by far one of the most important things on this list, only coming second to number 10. And that is researching my topics. When I used to research topics, the videos used to blow up. I can't explain it to you. But when I researched the topic, I don't know if it was me being more confident on camera or it was just me being able to do a better job at storytelling. I don't know. But when I researched the topic first and I outlined my video, they always did better. When I came up in here and sat down and just started talking to you, it always did worse. So moving forward, I'm not doing any, spontaneous videos unless, that's just the nature of that specific video. But Moving forward, my weekly videos, I'm gonna always do my research on them, always do my due diligence on them. And I think that if I had to guess as a marketer, I would say that because I did the research, I know what people want to know about. So I'm better able to tailor that content to what they really want to know versus what I think they want to know. When I walk in the door and just sit down, I'm talking to you about what I think you want to know, but I haven't done any research to back up that claim. So as a result, it flopped because I was wrong and that's not what you wanted to know. It was just something that I was interested in and wanted to talk about. So, number 9 is definitely I'm getting back into doing my research before I release any video. And number 10, which honestly by far is the most important out of everything that I have learned, is I have to have content pillars. And the reason why I want 5 content pillars on this specific channel is because honestly, at the end of the day, I can't just be a shortcuts guy. As you know, I talked about that. Heck, I got a whole welcome video when people hit this channel about that topic. So I'm not gonna rehash it here. But what I've learned is me trying to put myself into any box, whether that's I'm the tech guy or I'm the shortcuts guy or I'm the how-to tech guy or whatever the case may be, that's just not something I want to do. I don't want to be known for those things. I thought I did, but I really don't. And as a result of that, and me knowing that I don't want to be known for those things anymore, I want options. So if I don't want to talk about shortcuts this week, I got 4 other topics I can pull from. And what I realized with that, which goes back to one of our earlier ones we were talking about, is because I'm picking 5 different content pillars, that's 5 different audiences. I want to do my best to make sure they play nicely together, but I mean, you don't know. Like I know they say do content adjacent, meaning that if I'm a tech reviewer as a content creator, basically if you look at all my stuff that I unbox is always based around content creation. And the exception to that would be the single board computers. But outside of those single board computers, everything I unbox is because I picked up a product because I'm hoping it's going to help me create content faster, boost my productivity, or something like that. And as a result of that, they say, okay, if I'm talking about cameras, well, adjacent to cameras is what? Well, it's microphones. Adjacent to microphones is what? Well, it's boards like XLR boards or the Rode Podcaster, etc. All of those are content adjacent, meaning if my audience like cameras, more than likely they're gonna like those things because they understand that those things matter. If they like cameras, they like lenses. I could do that, but that doesn't really interest me. And with this channel, because I'm not putting any real expectations on it. The only expectation it has is to make me happy, make me enjoy it. This is my therapy, if I'm being completely honest with you. Sitting down, being able to create content and talk about the things that I want to talk about, the things that interest me, because people in my immediate space, I can't talk to them about FX30. They don't know what I'm talking about. I can't talk to them about shortcuts or automation or productivity because that's just not their thing. So when I get to turn on this camera and sit down and talk about this stuff, it really, really lights up my day. So for me, that is more important than me, making a quick buck or me doing something I don't want to do or anything like that. So while if you notice on this channel, I've been trying to figure out what I want my pillars to be. I know for a fact that it's tech, which tech is based around, it's very broad in the sense of content creation. I know it's shortcuts, which is broad in the sense of productivity and automation. Also know it's single board computers. Like with single board computers, what I realized, and I guess what's got me fake procrastinating on getting over that to them is single board computers is not like unboxing a camera. It's not like, unboxing my iPhone. It's not like unboxing anything I've ever unboxed because you can unbox a single board computer, but now you have to go through the pain of putting it together. And I can promise you, I've spent more money on single board computers than I have on any other tech, because I'll create, like right now, case in point, I have a module 4 over there, Raspberry Pi module 4 over there, that was supposed to go to my automation for, I think it's called, what is it called? The Yellow or something like that. It's a board for the Yellow. HomeKit Automation got their own little actual board out, but you need to compute module 4 for it. And I was brand new and I did not do it correctly. So I cut this whole video and then I couldn't release it because it didn't work. Then I tried to get a jumper to put over it to reboot it and erase it. It was a thing. It got to the point where I got frustrated and wanted to throw all of it in the garbage, but I said, no, I ain't gonna do that. So I just put it on the shelf. It's sitting there now. I went out and bought another compute module 4 to take the other module off. So that way I can actually do it the way it's supposed to and I can get automation going in the house. I said that to say this. I thoroughly enjoy those single board computers, but the problem is the level of work it takes to get a video out for me, because I consider myself still new. So the level it takes for me to get a video out is very high. And it's not like with shortcuts where I can go sit down, do that shortcut, figure it out, figure out the potholes that people might step into, and then go back and recreate that video on camera and show like some of the error messages people might get, and if they get this, that's what's wrong. I can't do that with single board computers. I can do it with the PCs. I can do it with, my MacBook Pro or my iPad, but with single board computers with Linux, I can't do that. So as a result, I've been dragging my foot on that a little bit. And I know for a fact I want one of my pillars to be single board computers because I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy it. Now, I did ask myself if single board computers should be something that is just for me, where I'm not recording, I can really enjoy it and not have the pressure of messing up. But I was like, nah, we want to show it. So those are the 10. And like I said, number 10 or number 1, those 5 content pillars, I'm still trying to figure them out. And yeah, hopefully, what's my expectations going into 2025? Honestly, I don't really have any real expectations. I feel like I really want to focus in on making sure that I am hitting that last 300 subscribers I need, because right now I'm at 700. So focusing on hitting that last 300 subscribers and getting past that 4,000 watch hours would be great. And honestly, you might think it's for AdSense, but like I told you earlier in this video, I'm a marketer. Like, I've been outlining and creating a course on the back end that shows people, that allows people to see the case study of me getting to, from starting from scratch, going up to that first 1,000 watch hours, first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So that's a course that I would like to be able to put out, because I only create courses on the things that I do. So once I hit that, I can finally release that course. So it doesn't have anything to do with Google AdSense or anything like that, just in case you was curious, but I have been doing that on the back end. But with that being said, I think that would be my main focus. Getting that in 2025, I would like to, if I end the year at over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, I would be very happy. That would make me very happy. That would be my goal. Because after that 1,000, then I could set a new goal on my way to 100,000 subscribers. Because the end goal is, I would like to grow this channel as big as possible. Now, I would like to be among the giants who've hit over 100,000 subscribers. That would be pretty awesome. And yeah, that's what I want to do. So that's the goal, just to hit the 1,000. I mean, some people might say they can do that in a day, but as you can see, that hasn't been my experience. And yeah, I'm still figuring it out. So with that being said, We'll Talk Tech isn't going anywhere. We probably gonna play around with the content formatting a little bit more, because like I said, I'm still trying to figure out my pillar content. I'm still trying to find my voice. And I know I definitely want to do more Wheel Talk Tech. Like that, I didn't include that as a pillar because I feel like Wheel Talk Tech is more in line with, you know, maybe my thoughts on a product or something like that, or 6 month review or something like that. And instead of calling it a 6 month review, I can talk about, the ups and downs of that specific product. And that would allow me to link out to the review that I did on the channel and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to figure out my content strategies. As you can see, I'm brainstorming with you right now. But with that being said, I'm looking forward to 2025. Hopefully, it be as good as 2024 and better. And I hope you well in your endeavors. I just want to take a moment to say thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. I appreciate the ones who don't subscribe but stick around to the end of the video and comment and leave feedback. Because I'm telling you, when you're first getting started and you're putting yourself out there, you really don't know how far someone said, "Hey, awesome video," or "Thanks for the video, this helped," or "This solved the problem that I've been frustrated with," or "Thank you for doing that," or "Thank you for doing this," or "I appreciate this," or "I appreciate that." Those little micro wins, which is what I call them, goes a long way keeping someone, with their head down grinding. Because what you don't get to see behind the scenes is the crazy work ethic that I got to keep up with just to be able to support this channel, or the hours that I sit up and edit this video, or me being at my side job in a car with my laptop on my lap trying to edit the video just so I can get it out for the next morning on time. So yeah, it really has been a journey. And I'm only at 700 subscribers. Like, that's crazy. So I hope I can only get better and streamline the process from here. So, with that being said, I'm done talking your ear off. Till next time. Later.